Hi guys. This is never not funny. Me and my support pumpkin are here with the 3rd trimester video. I've done one of these for the 1st and the 2nd trimester. This is a recap, my thoughts, my feelings, symptoms, my own personal experience. I'm actually filming this obviously still pregnant, but I thought I would film it whilst I'm still pregnant because I know as soon as I have my baby, I'm not going to want to sit and film it, am I? And also, I'm going to be in a sea of sleep deprivation, poo, sick, wee, and I will have forgotten about the 3rd trimester, I think, just because I'm going to be in postpartum, whatever that's going to be. So we're sitting down today and we're filming a very, very, very honest video of how I have found the 3rd trimester. So grab your support pumpkin if you have one. Get yourself a brew. I've got a pumpkin spice latte, one that you don't need to boycott. And I've written my notes on my laptop because pregnancy brain, as we all know. I think I need to sit up. So just give me 10 years. That just looks strange, doesn't it? Oh my gosh. Oh my, wow. I just want to add my usual disclaimer in that I am fully aware of how lucky I am. So grateful. I say these blessings daily. I know this, I appreciate this. However, if you've watched any of my videos before, you might know that I have not enjoyed being pregnant. I've had a really hard time. And this video is just going to be very, very honest. Each pregnancy is different, everybody's journey is different. And this is just my experience personally. So the appointments I've had so far, I've had, I think, a 28-week appointment, a 30-week appointment, extra blood tests, the whoop and cough vaccination appointment, phone appointments with consultants because I have a high-risk pregnancy, a 32-week appointment, health visitor came to the flat, 34-week growth scan, 34-week appointment, 36-week appointment, and then there's going to be 38-week appointment, 38-week growth scan, and they've all been good so far. My blood test came back with low iron. I don't know if I mentioned this in the 2nd trimester recap, but I had really, really low iron, so I was put on tablets. I'm on my 2nd packet of tablets because they worked, and now it's just a case of me continuing to take the iron tablets and to just have more iron in my diet, which is really frustrating because when I'm not pregnant, my diet is, I would say the 2 main things I get in my diet, probably iron and carbs. But I have an obscene amount of iron in my diet. I will probably have about 10 portions of vegetables a day. I'm vegan and I have endo, so I eat so much anyway, but the baby girl is growing well and all is good with her in general. She has a lot of hair. I mean, it was never going to be a shock to have a baby with a lot of hair. I mean, look at me, look at the father. There's a lot of dark hair. The old wives' tale is that if you have heartburn and your baby's got a lot of hair, and my heartburn rules my life at the minute. I don't sleep because the heartburn is severe, so you can see it on the scan. She's just got really long hair, and I think the 30-week growth scan, you could see just how much hair she's got. Every time Faisal can make it to an appointment when he's not working, he has the nurses and midwives in stitches. He is a Scorpio, and he's very dramatic. And I don't know, I feel like he brightens up the days of these staff members because he's just so ridiculous, and it's just so funny. It's nice seeing how interested he is, but he's so interested that he catches these people off guard with his questions. He's like, oh, what is this? And don't you think this? And blah, blah, blah. And when we went for the first growth scan that he was there for, as soon as I lay down, before the jelly touched my tummy or whatever it's called, he was like, so is everything okay? And you could see the staff were like, and I was like, Faisal, give them a minute at least. He wishes he could attend every appointment, obviously. He's got music to play. Baby girl has been head down for months now, which is good. I hope she stays there. I can feel her head like rolling in my pelvis, which is like the strangest sensation, but you want your baby to be head down. My midwife showed me how to feel my daughter's head in my pelvis. I was like, whoa, that's a head. And Faisal was like, can I have a go? And so he, like, the midwife put his like fingers on where her head was, and he lost it. He like flung them away. He was like, oh my God. And he was crying, like hysterically laughing, hysterically crying. I think the emotion for him was just like, I just felt my daughter's head, and to him it was just so much. And I understand because as the woman, I am experiencing her moving 24/7. She doesn't stop. She does not stop, which is obviously a really good sign. But she doesn't stop, so I don't really get a break from it. And I've grown her. So for him to only be feeling her kick every now and then or whatever and seeing bits now and then, for him to feel her head must have been crazy. So we had the health visitor come to the apartment, and that was a really, really nice experience. She gave us so much information, so many leaflets, which admittedly I've not even looked at. I don't even know where I've put them. She was introducing herself and the team, and that to let us know that they're going to be there for us after the daughter's born, when we're discharged from the midwife, which I think is a few days after birth. You're discharged from the midwife and you're kind of just left there like, whoa, what do I do now? So that's what the health visitors are there for. When she left, I actually cried because everything just hit me that it was real, and she told us that it was really apparent and obvious just how excited and prepared we were. It just goes to show how much me and him have actually talked about this and discussed this and planned for this. It also just reconfirms how lucky I am to have a man that's actually a proper man who wants to be a dad. I know a lot of men want babies, but they don't want to be a dad, if that makes sense. And he's so excited for it. I think he's more excited than I am. Anyway, I'm going to start with the positives and then I'll go into the negatives. So positives, there's not too much to say here. Obviously, my daughter being well is the top priority and it's the biggest blessing ever, and it makes it also worth it. I still have a bit of the pregnancy glow, although I feel it sliding away day after day because I'm so close to the end now. And I don't really have it in me to, like putting this makeup on today took it all out of me. I think that's probably been my top symptom, is the glow. Some might say my lack of stretch marks is a positive, but I don't really mind. I love stretch marks. I have some stretch marks in my inner thigh, and I think that they're the coolest thing ever. I just think they look really cool. So I don't feel any type of way the fact that I haven't got stretch marks. I think people, when they see that I don't have stretch marks, they're more just confused and thinking, why have you not got a single one? And I don't know why I don't have any. Although they could come any minute, or I could give birth and they could appear when my tummy goes back down to what it was before. I don't know, but yeah, there's no stretch marks, which is strange. Her kicking and moving around is always a positive. It does hurt now, especially when it's under the rib cage or when you're lying on your side and she's like kicking out the side. It does really hurt, I won't lie. And sometimes you can't eat because your stomach's shrunk anyway, and you'll be trying to eat something and then she just, for some reason, just moves herself up there to the point where I have to stop eating my food because I can't fit anything else in. Just feeling her move and people seeing that and people feeling that. I love people touching my bum. I think it's really cool. I'm a very touchy-feely person anyway, so it's never an issue. It's lovely seeing how excited people are, how much effort people have made, and the fact that people genuinely want to buy us gifts and help. I'm not having a baby shower. I personally couldn't think of anything worse than a baby shower for many reasons that I won't go into, but we have a registry if anybody wants to buy us something, and people have just been asking for a link to it. I would never want anyone to feel pressured into having to buy us a gift. It's the main reason I don't want a baby shower. I just don't want people to feel forced to buy me something. I think I'd feel really rude. Now for the negatives. It's no secret that I've not enjoyed this pregnancy. I'd love to come on here and tell you how it's been. It's smooth, how I've enjoyed it. It's been sunshine and rainbows. But I really don't want to be dishonest here. I also want to stress that this is just my experience. Every single pregnancy is different. Everybody is different. Many people enjoy pregnancy and love it. My mum had 3 pregnancies and loved it all. She said watching me now and thinking back to when she was pregnant, she realised how easy, you're growing a human, it's not easy, but how easy she had it, and she didn't have pain, she didn't have any of these horrible symptoms. She had a bit of sickness when she was in the first trimester, but so yeah, you just can't compare. I found it useful to watch lots of different people's journeys because everybody's has been different. It's also important to remember that I already have a physical disability going into this pregnancy. I have osteopenia as well, which means my bones are soft basically, so it's going to physically hurt me more. I have a large fibroid as well, which is making it high risk, all of those 3 things. Endo as well. So I think it's just important to remember that I'm not going into a pregnancy without anything at all. There are factors that have made it a lot harder for me. So let's get straight into the symptoms that I have experienced and are experiencing. Sickness and nausea. This is a weird one because in the first trimester it was severe. I lost a lot of weight and I couldn't keep anything down, and I was living off a couple of sweets a day. I haven't had consistent sickness and nausea in the 3rd trimester. When I have been physically sick, I felt great afterwards. That's been the good thing. Whereas when you have really, really bad pregnancy sickness, you don't feel better after you've been sick. There's no relief. because it comes back again and you still can't really eat anything, and everything. It's just horrific. So I am glad that I feel like I've had a normal sickness. Anemia, low iron, that's probably been the second hardest physical thing I've had to deal with. I had it throughout our baby moon, so our holiday baby moon, which I have logged if you're interested. But that was a really difficult, obviously it was an amazing holiday, but it was physically difficult because I didn't have enough oxygen in my body and it was so hot. It also meant that I had to go on maternity leave early at 28 weeks, which is a lot sooner than a lot of people. And it stressed me out because I'm self-employed. It's not like I just say to my employer, oh, I'm taking it early, and then, you know, you just have your maternity pay early or whatever. That's been really hard. Having to not work when you're a self-employed person anyway is hard because you're so driven by yourself. So I feel like I've lost a part of myself, which I've really struggled with, I won't lie. Like I've already mentioned, the gag reflux, heartburn, acid reflux, it's never left, and it is just getting worse. Nothing helps. You could not tell me anything. I've refrained from saying it on social media just because I know people mean well, but I think people telling me to have Gaviscon and Reni tablets and stuff is just going to wind me up, because do you not think I've already tried that? I've tried everything. Omeprazole, Gaviscon, Reni tablets, altering what I eat and what times I eat it. I every night I sleep kind of sitting up anyway because I can't lie down. It's just kind of something that you kind of have to deal with. I'll tell you why it sucks as well, because sometimes it's so painful you can't eat, but then you're really, really hungry, or you're breathless anyway because you've got a human sitting on you and it's like affecting your lungs and everything. But then you get everything here and it hurts and you're just like, it's horrible. Sciatica, wow, that's been the worst thing about this pregnancy. Sciatica is where the sciatic nerve runs from your lower back to your feet, and it gets irritated or compressed, which happens a lot in pregnancy because there's a baby there. So it can be quite common. And if you're somebody who isn't pregnant that has sciatica, it's very, very painful anyway. Nothing helps other than sitting on an exercise ball and kind of rocking from side to side and forwards and backwards, and that can alleviate it a little bit. But when I say I couldn't walk, I could not walk. And at this point, when it was really, really bad, Faisal was away in Europe somewhere, and I couldn't get to my crutches in the cupboard because his guitar cases were in the way. And so I was hobbling, dragging my body around the flat on this exercise ball, basically, like clinging onto the walls as I was moving, crying my eyes out. It was awful. I would never wish that on anyone. It was a lot worse than it sounds. If it sounds bad, it was worse than that. I was crying 24/7, crying myself to sleep. Then I couldn't sleep because of the heartburn, and it was too painful. And you can't get comfy, you can't sit, stand, lie down. There's no position when you have sciatica. It's just awful. And ever since then, I've only been able to like sleep on this side, and even then it's painful because then after a while this side of me goes a bit numb because of all the weight that's going. It's just hell. And I was referred for physio urgently because I couldn't leave the flat because I couldn't walk. And also it was referred urgently because I already have a physical disability. But have I had physio? No. I've chased it, nothing. Classic. Thankfully though, I've just powered through it by myself, and I've researched exercises and massages to do for myself by myself. Pelvic girdle pain. So pelvic girdle pain is usually caused by the joints moving unevenly, which can lead to this pelvic girdle becoming less stable and therefore very painful, and that is agony as well. It's so painful, but it's so weird. It's really hard to describe. It's like, it's hard to walk, but then it feels like your bones are grating against each other. You know, like the fingernails on the chalkboard. Imagine that in your pelvis as you're walking. Hunger is another symptom that is more of an inconvenience than a negative, I suppose. I'm doing 2 full food shops a week just for myself at the minute. I can't stop eating all day, every day. It's ridiculous. And with all the other symptoms, sometimes it's impossible for me to stand in the kitchen, chop everything up and cook it if I'm on my own. I mean, I've put on almost 2.5 stone since my first trimester, which is crazy. But to be fair, I did lose a lot of weight in first trimester, so I've gained a lot. The face swelling, everything's swelling, but particularly my face. I feel so ugly right now. I hate looking in the mirror and I just feel huge. And I know I'm pregnant, but guys, it's just not nice. It's more of a vanity thing, but it does affect me, and I think it probably affects a lot of other people as well. Even just like filming a video for TikTok, I watch it back and I think, you look so vile. Everything is just so much bigger, and I look at videos of me in January at the start of my pregnancy and I like what I see. And then I look at videos of my face now and I just despise it. I really don't like it. I hope it doesn't take too long to go back down again, but obviously that differs from person to person. It's so hot at the minute and I'm so tired that the only thing I have the energy to do with my hair is just scrape it back, which just enhances everything. I'm just being transparent. I want my body back and I want my face back. Swelling again in other areas. I already have a swollen ankle and foot due to the disability I have, which is complex regional pain syndrome, but it's making that worse. And I can't even sometimes now fit into my Crocs. I bought a pair of Crocs in a bigger size because I knew that I'd get swollen feet and it's all I can fit into, but sometimes I can't even get my feet into them. It's not as bad now, but yeah, I had to. Faisal at one point had to run to Primark and buy me a pair of men's flip-flops because I was like, there's nothing else I can wear. Mad, like I can't wear my wedding rings or anything. Like my hands are swollen, my arms are swollen, my shoulders swollen, my back is like, everything just feels so horrible. Like these are the only rings I can really fit on. Like my wedding ring, I've not worn that in absolutely months and months. I just can't. I can't get it on. And obviously I'm used to it now. I'm just looking at my hands, but then I'm like, ew. There's just so much water weight and I've got 50% more blood normally as well, and hormones, it just gets worse and worse. It's bad, and I'm not that bad, to be fair. I have said to Faisal, have I been awful to deal with? And he said no. He said he just hasn't really. There have been a couple of times where I've maybe been a bit aggy or maybe a little bit unreasonable, but he's not. He said he's not had it difficult with me at all, which is nice. I'm definitely just a bit more blunt and short with people, but that's when they ask stupid questions. The bladder situation, weeing every 5 minutes. I did this anyway because I drink so much water, but because it takes you so long to get out of bed in the evening if you've got sciatica and stuff to then go to the toilet, have a wee. By the time you get back into bed and get comfy again and try to fall asleep, you need another wee. It's just this cycle. And my cat is every 5 minutes like, what is this woman doing? The funny thing is that you'll go for a wee and then you'll come back out again and then you'll look at something and then you need to go again, depending on where your baby is and what they're doing. They stamp on your bladder or they press on your bladder and you have to go. Like I'll be sat there and she'll be awake and moving around and then I'm like, okay, here we go. And then I have to just go there and then. General backache. I mean, that's self-explanatory. We're carrying this whole entire human, new organs, all the extra weight, everything, all the extra blood. You're gonna have backache. And as I've mentioned before, I have osteopenia, which, yeah, it's definitely something to think about. If you've got osteopenia or osteoporosis, definitely bear that in mind if you are wanting to get pregnant. Another symptom is other people. Because why are so many people so annoying to deal with? I go into detail on this on TikTok, so I'll link my TikTok below. So I don't want to repeat it too much on here, but people just don't think before they speak, and they can be so rude and so assuming. And the thing is, I'm blunt at the best of times anyway. So to add pregnancy rage, I just don't care anymore. I do not care. And I've said this to Faisal and he understands where I'm coming from, but I just don't understand why people say such stupid things when you're pregnant. Like the comments on your body, shut up, who asked you? Trying to get information out of you that you don't want to give. It's just like, and people are like, are you sure it's not twins, or is there really only one baby in there? And it's like, yeah, because otherwise I'd say there were more than what? One thing that really annoys me as well is I'm having an elective C-section for various reasons. I've said to every single person multiple times from the very start in my hospital, what's going to happen is a week before the C-section, I will be given a date. Until then, I have no idea when it's going to happen. I don't know. And I've repeated that multiple times. And I will still get people ask me, when's your C-section? And I'll say, I don't know yet. As you are aware, I actually only get told when my C-section date is a week before the C-section, so I don't know yet. And then another week later, oh yeah, well when you're having it then, has your date come through yet? As you know, because I've told you before, you know that I don't know, because I don't know until I'm told, which is a week before, which isn't yet, isn't it? Because you know that the time is not yet, so I don't know. And guys, I can't, like, honestly, that would annoy anyone, but try being pregnant and having that question. It's just, I've just stopped telling people things. Just had to take a little break for my camera to stop overheating. So my thoughts and feelings in general. I am so excited and ready to meet my daughter now. We all know I'm done with this pregnancy. I just have this unbelievable urge to hold her and see her. Feeling her move all the time is incredible, but I need her. I'm so ready to get my body back. will just start the process of getting my body back. I'm not naive. I know it could take a while. I know it will be different and I might not fit in the clothes that I did before and things like that. I'm really glad because I've got a really good support network around me. My husband knows how keen I am to get that back and he's right with me on that and he's really ready to support me and to help me and stuff. I'm sick of wearing the same 4 things. I really loved my capsule wardrobe that I've kind of made for myself during this pregnancy, but after wearing the same things for 9 months, it just gets a little bit tiring. And I'm looking at all the clothes in my wardrobe that I can't wear right now, and I'm so ready for it. I'm sick of not being able to do much and having to rely on Faisal so much. I don't feel safe leaving the apartment and doing stuff by myself just because I feel like I could go at any minute and I'm not steady on my feet. I'm ready for caffeine to have an effect because I don't know about anybody else that's been pregnant, but caffeine just doesn't work. I've just had a coffee then and I could fall asleep right now. Normally I wake up in the morning, I have my coffee and I'm buzzing for hours and hours and I'm like, woo, get things done. Then I'll have another one later in the day and the same thing will happen. But when you're pregnant, caffeine just doesn't do anything. It does nothing. And you can't have a lot of it anyway. My current thoughts on motherhood in general. I'm ready to enter my MILF era. I feel like I've entered it, but I'm ready to really enter my MILF era. And I'm just ready to be a MILF. I was raised by one and I'm just ready to encapsulate that. I feel really lucky that I was raised by a Libra because she's all about like the aesthetics and looking good, and she's raised me to... I've seen her be an amazing mum and also be an amazing woman for herself. And I love that and I just want to be like that. I'm also ready to devote so much of myself to something I've created. It's going to be the biggest blessing I can think of, and to do that with my best friend as well is going to be, of course, the hardest thing ever, but also the best thing ever, and we are ready to accept whatever comes with that. I've said this before, I don't think I'm going to be a mumsy mum, if you get me. I don't find all of that like baby chat that interesting, and I'm excited for the challenge of going into motherhood, trying to find other like-minded mums to hang out with and do stuff with. I know a lot of mums who have been like ex-work colleagues when I worked in retail, or friends of friends and school friends and things like that, but we live so far away from each other, so I'm really keen to try and find a network of people in real life as well as my online mum friends as well, because I'll still be speaking to them because they've helped me so much through pregnancy, and if you're one of them, thank you, I owe you so much. There are mums out there that will probably want to hang out and just talk about corn. I think it's fine if you are a mumsy mum, but it's also fine if you're not. And I don't think it's going to affect how I'm going to parent my baby because I'm going to do as much as I can whenever I can. I'm going to be the best mum I can possibly be. I know my friendships will alter slightly because I now have this whole life that I'm responsible for, but I really want my friends to know that I'm not going to be one of those mums that when I meet my friends for a coffee or whatever, or at a festival or whatever, the conversation's not going to be solely around my child because like who cares? Like who cares? I know my friends care about me and my baby, but they don't want to hang out with me and just talk about diapers or breastfeeding. Like they don't really care, and I don't care to talk about that. So I hope my friends know that I'm not going to be like that, because I do think it is quite selfish personally. Also, because my life's going to revolve around like looking after a human, I want to know the goss. I'm going to want to meet my friends and what's the goss. Career-wise, I don't know what that's going to look like, and that's something that I'm thinking about, but not too much. Again, I touched on this in the last Q&A. I'm so itching to work, and I've had opportunities come in. I've had quite a few opportunities come in for work in the past couple of months, but I can't do it. I just can't. I'm too pregnant and exhausted and full of my other symptoms. So even if I feel a tiny bit of energy, I'm in so much pain that I can't think, I can't concentrate. I mentally am really struggling. I can't think of doing anything. The only thing I can think about is making sure I've hoovered, basically, if that makes sense. So it's the reason I'm having a baby at 30 and not at 20. I'm really lucky that I have Faisal's support and that he wants me to be able to do whatever I want in my career. It's a big reason why we are staying up north for now. I mean, eventually we don't want to live in the UK, but for now we're staying up north. And we had other options of places to live, but the option we've chosen is because we've got some family there, it's cheaper, and it means that I don't have to sacrifice everything in my career, whereas if we chose another place, and that probably would happen, I basically need to be in and around the northwest because of my work, and I know that I won't be working near as much as I was, but I will still be doing stuff, especially when Faisal's not on tour and he's at home. He can be the more prominent at-home parent and give me the time to be able to work as well. And he really wants that for me because he knows how much I'm sacrificing for our baby. You know, his career hasn't changed. His career isn't affected. I get people constantly talking to me about how great and the band and everything like that. And I really, really love that because I'm also a massive fangirl as well. I'm such a massive supporter of him and his career. But it does kind of make me feel a little bit, I think it's because I'm also in the arts. We're both creative people in the arts. We're both artists. It's just that he's a musician and I'm an actor and model and content creator, all that kind of stuff. And I feel like because I've not been able to do that for a while now, I just feel like it's forgotten about. And that's not intentional, no one's done that. It's just, it's hard. Like, I'm stuck growing this baby all by myself, and obviously I've got the most amazing husband who does everything for me, but I don't know, it's kind of, I don't know how to explain it. And I know a lot of people will be in a similar situation, but I think it is definitely weird being in a marriage and a relationship where we're both creators and one gets to flourish and not have any consequences for that, and the other one has to just stay at home and grow a baby and not enjoy doing it and suffering doing it. But yeah, I think I'll leave it there because I've, as per usual, gone on for far too long. And as for right now, I am just waiting for pregnancy to be over. I've been pregnant every single day so far this year, so it's safe to say I'm over it. Yeah, if you've made it this far, thank you so much. I really hope this video was useful or interesting. I appreciate it's mainly me being negative and moaning, but as I said at the start, I always try and be as honest as I can be, and it's not been sunshine and rainbows, so I would never pretend that it was. It's just a chapter, it's just a season. Have a lovely rest of your day, take care, drink some water, be kind, don't let the bed bugs bite, and I will see you in the next video. Bye guys!